U.S. Women's National Team honored Alex Morgan tonight for her legendary career, and they played Portugal, but unfortunately they lost.
Yeah.
So not all happiness.
I wonder if Alex secretly wanted to run on the field and say, hey, let me score a goal for you guys. I got this. I mean, she couldn't have, but I wonder if she wanted to.
What's stopping her from doing that?
I know.
For real.
Well, and we had talked about it. Alex Morgan retired over a year ago, a year and 2 months ago. And we kept saying, I'm surprising she didn't get a game, for them to honor her. Eventually it would have come, but finally it was last night. Yeah, and the U.S. Women's National Team was unable to get the victory last night. And to be honest, I didn't even think we were going to talk about this. I didn't think we were going to make a video about it just because I thought, okay, U.S. Women's National Team is playing Portugal. They are a great team, but we'll probably win. That even sounds sassy. We'll beat them. But no, this was probably one of the most shocking losses in the Emma Hayes' era. Actually, I don't know how many losses Emma Hayes has had with the U.S. Women's National Team, but I don't know. I thought it was a pretty shocking game for a few reasons. But that's what we're going to talk about. Just a short video because they did lose tonight. They really wanted to win this game, especially because if you look at the lineup they put out there, I saw people talking about this online. A lot of people thought this was Emma Hayes' strongest starting 11. She kind of went for the A team. Sometimes you go with the B team, sometimes you kind of mix and match. But people were saying, hey, that's about the strongest team they had with the players they pulled into camp. So you're going out there to win. And the fact that usually you get a win, maybe a loss than draw, usually that first game out, you're expected, especially if you bring out the A team, to get a win, that they ended up losing. And it started so good. Like Sara said, pregame honored Alex Morgan, looked incredible and so excited for her, and her kids were there, and just exciting, especially now with the retirements of like Kristen and Tobin and everyone. It's kind of like that era is pretty much gone. I mean, that era is over and it's sad, but I guess that's what happens,
Don't. I can't handle that.
Yeah, that era is gone. And this new era, it's just so crazy how United States is still good, obviously great, but every country around the world is just so good now. Playing Portugal, remember the big match at the World Cup, a big 0-0 draw at the World Cup? Portugal is a strong team. Probably their most notable player is KIKA Nazareth, Barcelona superstar. I mean, I think everyone in the soccer world knows that name, and she's amazing. But the whole team has really, they weren't messing around. Portugal A is a strong team, has strong players. We're not messing around. Michelle Cooper went down a couple hard times, and one time, so they're trying to pick her up the second time. I couldn't quite figure that one out.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there.
I think she felt bad, the Portuguese player, and then it was just very strange.
And then Rose is like, no, you gotta go.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. But it started out really well for the United States. Speaking of Rose, the first minute, they got out to a crazy start because Kat Macario to Rose Lavelle in the, 30th second, that goal. I thought, oh my God, they're going to kill it,
Yeah, for sure they had it, right? I mean, strong start.
1 minute in. And also, we didn't mention this, the United States hasn't played since July. Maybe I did, but Portugal is still kind of a fresh team because they played Nations League. They've been playing more than the United States. But the first minute, Rose Lavelle, now, I guess they didn't have VAR for this game because apparently it was offsides. And it was like, even the commentator said, yeah, it was offsides. So that goal maybe shouldn't have even counted.
Luckily it did.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. I've seen so many goals called off for by millimeters. But this game's a friendly. But friendlies do matter. It's for they get paid if they win these, the U.S. Women's National Team. And also it affects FIFA rankings. So these games are important. But I know not every team around the world has VAR every game. But first minute in. Then from there, it kind of was, I don't want to say all downhill because they had some good moments, but after that, that was their only goal. Obviously, Sara and I don't really talk about game plan or schematics or things like that. There's so many great channels that do, but most people are saying United States looked disorganized. They looked not cohesive. They looked like they were all individually doing their own thing. Their positionings were weird. So a lot of people said they weren't on the same page, and a very non-cohesive team out there overall was probably the biggest issue. But then in the 40th minute, off a set piece, actually both goals were off set pieces, GOMES scored a beautiful goal. I mean, the way it kind of just was a bullet off her, I believe it was a header. PTJ tried her hardest to get there. I mean, PTJ moves fast, and
who's calling her PTJ?
That's everyone's calling her PTJ.
Where have I been?
Girl, you haven't been on Twitter, on TikTok. Phallon could not have, I mean, she got her body there, but there's not much Phallon could have done. Actually, Phallon had a beautiful save, a kick save right before then. Like a great save. I even saw like player ratings. And people said Phallon, although she let in 2 goals, there isn't much she could have done for both goals. Then going into halftime, it was said that there was a very, very aggressive, very spirited chat to the girls, because there was sideline reporting said that Emma basically said, what was the quote? If I can find the quote, but I'll paraphrase it. Something like, it doesn't look good. We need to make it look better. And the bench players are going to make it look better if you guys don't shape it up. Something to that effect. Like, this isn't good. And I think I'm sure the players themselves kind of agreed with that. Hey, we're not playing well. Sometimes there's only so much you can do, especially with a strong Portuguese team. Emma Hayes was not mincing words. Again, second half was 1-1 until 72nd minute. And again, off a set piece. Which Sam Kerr famously, she has like a famous quote saying, you guys suck at set pieces, basically. I'm sure Sam Kerr felt very vindicated as she was watching this game, because off another set piece.
But Christy was sad, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Pinto scored a beautiful goal off a set piece. Just snuck by Phallon, I don't think there's anything Phallon could have done, but there's more the defending could have done, the defenders. Portugal up for the rest of the night, and that was, was it? Not necessarily, but that was it. 2-1, and most people said that shouldn't have even been 2-1. It should have been 2-0, but that was the game. I think a lot of people were surprised, and, I saw commentary. I saw a couple things. One, the cohesion wasn't there. Then I saw some players played okay, and a lot of people were saying it's not even necessarily the U.S. women's national team played mid or bad or whatever. Portugal just played that good. They had the fire. They looked like they wanted to win more than the U.S. women's national team. And also, we talked about Portugal just played Nations League, and we know that United States women's national team hasn't played since July. But also, Portugal played the Euros. They're a really cohesive team right now. They played a lot of games during the summer, so they know each other a lot better as a whole than the U.S. team. So the U.S. team just was not up for the fight tonight. Because people said some bright spots. I saw Michelle Cooper had some bright spots. People were saying that. Rose Lavelle, a lot of people said Rose looked really good. Now, I've seen the argument saying Rose and Lindsey, the way they position and what they do, people don't think playing together is the most effective lineup. That they just don't play that well together. Jaden Shaw, when she came in, I saw people talking about that she was a bright spot. Emma Sears, and a lot of these players, a few of these players did have nice moments. And then I saw people saying Avery Patterson played great, and then I saw some girl, no, she did not play great. She kept losing the ball, kind of not playing great. So I don't think anyone had a standout performance. No one played great, but Portugal really wanted to win. Also, we think about all the players that came in from Europe. Alyssa, newly Chelsea'd Alyssa Thompson, Foxy, Lily Johannes, Kat, Lindsay, going from Europe, flying over. So that's hard on the body. Then a lot of the players in season, everyone's in season right now. So the U.S. women's national team players that play in the NWSL, tired from playing their games. Then the players over in Europe, tired from traveling and playing their season so far. But I heard interesting commentary saying, players of the past would get tired as hell, you know what I mean? But they always brought their same level every single time to the U.S. Women's National Games. The idea of them being tired in the past would have been like, this was some of the commentary I saw, that, yeah, you might be tired, but you have to bring your absolute best every single time, and that was expected. So now maybe people are saying maybe the players are, how do you say it? They're not necessarily not bringing their best, but they are preserving their body, which they have to do too. So it's such a hard situation, and a lot of times. But that is the big story. I guess we'll read some. I have a couple comments, but was anyone surprised? I mean, I did see. I have a comment right here. I don't think we're circling around the truth. We're calling out a team that was bad. Of course, Portugal was the better team. Meaning, I think this person's saying Portugal was better. It wasn't even necessarily that U.S. women's national team was not great. I think that's what this comment's saying. But Portugal was great. Was good. Someone says, it's sort of wild that first goal was allowed to stand. And I think that's a good point in regards to the whole idea with VAR. Oh, you have one goal that's so close by millimeters can't stand, but a goal that a lot of people say that was offside could stand. It is kind of hard, especially when if these players win, they get paid money. It affects FIFA rankings. It affects a lot of things, even though they are friendlies. And then someone goes, Alex Morgan celebrations are haunted. I'm trying to think if there was another Alex Morgan one where they didn't play well. Someone says, a lot of dribbling when passes were available. Yeah, a lot of people just said the cohesion just didn't look good. Someone says, oh, and then right here, congrats to Portugal. Well-deserved win. Let's keep going, USA. So awesome for Portugal. But hey, USA, let's keep going. And then someone goes, the midfield was invisible. KIKA, she's world famous, world class, world everything. I saw a couple comments.
KIKA is by far the best player on the pitch. KIKA is running the F out of that midfield. U.S. women's national team is chasing shadows there. Emma needs to figure out that midfield. KIKA is better than any U.S. women's national team midfielder in history.
I kind of like that because, very dramatic. But hey, she's great. For Portugal, this is historic. As someone goes, this is historic. It was huge.
Someone says, one of the most memorable chapters in the history of Portuguese women's football. Congratulations, Sailors.
Yeah, their name is the Sailors. Isn't that cute? That's
so cute.
I know. Everyone has a cool name. I know United States just historically does it. And I know that's the whole thing. Just we don't, United States. But, one day maybe.
Didn't like how they played today. Everyone was doing their own thing, but I love Team USA. Let's continue to work as a team, and hopefully Hayes starts narrowing the players so the same ones can practice together more.
And then someone goes, this game shows they haven't played together in a while and missing key players. Yeah, that's totally true. And then someone goes, so who played well today? Rose, Lavelle, and Emma Sears? Yeah, I saw people thought Rose and Emma had solid games. And then a lot of people saying missing Girma. Look forward to changes in the next starting lineup. Yeah, because the next game is on Sunday, and we'll see what Emma does. I think she'll probably change up probably everyone, but change up the midfield. I don't know. What does everyone think? Like I said, I didn't necessarily think we were going to make a video on this, but exciting game. I don't know. I hate when we lose, but it is kind of exciting in a weird way when we lose too. No one's probably going to agree with that.
Well, it pushes them to work harder.
Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.